The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus went around to all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness. At the sight of the crowds, his heart was moved with pity and compassion for them. They were troubled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest." Then he summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to drive them out and to cure every disease and every illness. Jesus sent out these 12 after instructing them thus, "Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and as you go, make this proclamation: the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, drive out demons. Without cause you have received, without cause you are to give." My dear friends, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kumusta po ang inyong Advent season? How is your Advent season, my dear friends? We're almost done with the first week. How do we respond to the call of this season of Advent, with this, the call for renewal? Kumusta ba ang ating mga resolutions? How is your Advent resolutions? May nagbabago ba? May pagbabago ba? Take note, the main invitation for this Advent season is the call for renewal. Because as we, following the liturgical calendar, began this year, we have to start it with a new thing, with a new life, new beginning, new resolutions. At the same time, following the calendar, the usual ordinary calendar, December, we also intend to end this year with a new resolution as well. Kaya nagtatanong po ako, kumusta pa ang inyong Advent season? Sana po may nagbabago. You know, the gospel today also tells us something. Take note, the call of the invitation for the call to renew. And today's gospel tells us something of this human tendency, a very simple, silent, yet very dangerous tendency of men. Meron pong tinatawag na ugali ng tao na minsan hindi natin napapansin, but very, very dangerous. And I think the gospel is telling us that we have to renew this one. We have to overcome this one, this kind of attitude. And this attitude, these are apathy and indifference. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng apathy? When we talk about apathy, this is the lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm. Sa Tagalog pa, patay na patay. Walang kabuhay-buhay. Nakakita na ba kayo ng ganong personality? Kasamang walang kabuhay-buhay, latoy na latoy. Indifference, walang pakialam sa buhay. Kung kanina, walang kabuhay-buhay, indifference, walang pakialam sa buhay. Nakakita ko, nakakayamot kapag may kasama kang ganito. So indifferent. Hindi mo alam kung kasama. Sabi ko nga po, silent, simple, yet very dangerous tendencies of men. Apathy and indifference. And this is the main call of today's gospel. We have to overcome this kind of tendencies. Walang kabuhay-buhay, walang pakialam sa buhay. And the call, how to overcome this, is actually what is manifested in Jesus in today's gospel. When he saw the crowds, the gospel told us that he was moved with compassion. And this is the way to overcome these human tendencies of apathy and indifference. Compassion. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng compassion? To suffer with. You have to feel what other people are feeling. And that is why Jesus invited or challenged his apostles to get out, to get in touch with the reality of the people around them. Lumabas kayo, tignan nyo, hindi lang tignan, ramdamin nyo ang nararamdaman ng kapwa nyo. And this is what we call compassion. Sapagkat kapag naramdaman mo ang nararamdaman ng kapwa mo, tiyak, gagawa ka. May mga taong nararamdaman, nakikita lang yung kapwa, nakikita yung sitwasyon ng kapwa, and yet, leaving them without doing something. But with compassion, nararamdaman mo ang nararamdaman ng kapwa mo, and definitely, you will end up with doing something for them. And that is what we call compassion. And Advent season is really the best time to do this compassion. Kaya nga, meron tayong tinatawag na gift-giving. You know, in our community, we have Advent observances or Advent penances, wherein we are actually challenged to do something for people. The usual Advent penance that we do is actually to allot something from your allowance and then give it to other people, to the poor. It's about sharing of something that you have. It's not simply about being aware of their feeling, of their situation, but putting you into that situation wherein you have to do something for them. And that is what we call compassion. And I know, my dear friends, we also have your own personal penances and observances for the season of Advent. And I just hope we really do something for other people, as the gospel is challenging us to do the same. Get out, get in touch of the reality of these people, of our brothers and sisters outside, and do something for them with compassion.